How's it going today, guys? In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to install your safety, grip, and adjust your tensioner on your AR lower receiver. If you want to see more content like this, please like, subscribe, and share to help support the channel. This is another video in the video series of my YouTube playlist called How to Build Your AR15. This is the Radian Talon 45 and 90 degree ambidextrous safety in the OD green, and then also the Magpul K2-XL grip. These are personally both my favorite options. For the Radian, which I will demonstrate later, having it at a 45 degree angle instead of switching it to a 90 makes this way easier to activate your safety a lot faster and a lot more efficiently. Also, having the ambidextrous on the right side, I like it for long range shots. Usually I'll have my thumb on the right side, so if I need to actuate that, I can. If you don't care about the ambidextrous side of it, they do make these just with the single side. This version comes with a long and a short. I like to position the long on my left side. Since I am a right-handed shooter, I flick that more often. And then for long range shots, I can use the shorter one on the right side. These are both raised and pretty thick, as you can see, so they are very easy to hit. And having that 45 degree just makes an excellent safety. Definitely the best safety you can buy. In regards to the Magpul K2-XL, this really comes down to personal preference, but there's a few things I like about this. This grip is very vertical, so it's a very comfortable position to hold the AR instead of having your wrist canted. It's one of the most straight up and down grips I've seen, especially for the ones Magpul makes. They do make just a standard K2 and a rubberized. I do like the XL because I do have a little bit bigger of a hands, so it allows me more to grab onto and to get more surface to grip. It's just more comfortable for me. You will need the spring and the detent. The detent will go into your safety to keep it into place on the right side of this, and then the spring will go into your grip. It comes with a screw you need to screw into your receiver to hold your grip in place. Another awesome thing about the Magpul grips is that they have the bottom compartment that comes out. They also give you a bottle to carry oil. You can also take this off, and then you can store earplugs, batteries, whatever else you want in there. I like to store batteries for my optic and an extra set of earplugs in there in case I don't have time to grab Ear Pro. For the Radian, it comes with a bunch of different parts. You can see just how thick they are. Both of these are durable and reliable pieces of equipment, which is very important. The first thing you're going to want to do is take one of these little springs. You'll also see your shiny platinum metal pieces. On one side, there is a little nub on the end, and then on the other side, it is straight and flat. You're going to want the nub-sided end, and your spring will click right onto that, which is exactly what you want. For me, since I'm a right-handed shooter, I'm going to want the longer piece on this side. The bigger cutout is the 90 degree, and the smaller cutout is the 45 degree. So when I'm putting this on, I want it where the 45 degree cutout is facing directly down. I'm going to stick that spring head in first. I have my 45 degrees still facing down, so I know exactly where my safety needs to be. If this is turned the wrong way and then you go to install it, your safety might end up the wrong direction, so this is important to get right. I'm going to stick this in so it makes it a little bit easier. My 45 facing down, my 90 degree will be facing up. I'll take the little tool they gave me. I'm going to push down on the silver piece that is under spring tension. Just like that. And then you can see the metal little piece that holds your safety in place. If you messed up and you do need to take it off, just take your tool, push down on that, and then pull the safety out, and that will come out. Just remember that is under spring tension. You're lining up that hole with the groove for the 45. If you were wanting the 90, you would need to line up the groove for the 90 and this hole here, so it would be like that. That's why it's important to get the safety the right way, otherwise your safety will be turned around wrong. So it is lined up the right way, and I stick it through. You can see about right there, I'm going to be at the 45. I'm going to take my spring and my other silver piece. I will put it on the nub, which you can see it clicks on and it doesn't come off. I'm going to put the spring down in there first. There it is. And I will do the same thing. I'm just going to take the tool they gave me, push down and slide the safety over it. Push it a little more, and then you see it clicks. Now it's in place. The tensioner here, you just need an Allen key to change. You just tighten that upwards or downwards, and what it does, it pushes that green tip up against your upper receiver, which helps stabilize your upper receiver. It's very simple. You can add Loctite if you would like. You just thread that in a little bit, stick your upper receiver on top, and then once your upper receiver is on top and clicked in, you can adjust your tensioner, which will put pressure on your upper receiver and make it not wobble or move around as much. I personally don't like to use it because it makes the takedown pins very hard to get off, and I couldn't find a happy medium where it was still putting pressure and giving some stability, but I could still release the takedown pins, so I choose not to mess with that. The next thing I'm going to do is take these little detents that look like missiles. I'm going to drop one in there. Make sure the flat edge is facing towards you and the pointed edge is going down in. And you have to move it around a little bit. You will know it's in place when it actuates like a safety. So right now it's at no fire, and then I turn it and it won't go anymore. If the detent is not in place, this thing will still spin around all the way. Since it is only going to 45 and actuating like a safety, that's how I know the detent is in place. Here's your hole that the spring goes in. So I have the spring in my hole of the grip, and you want to make sure that your detent doesn't go out. So you kind of need this pushed upside down, but you have to be careful putting this on. It is a very tight fit, and if you jam it on there, you could risk bending your spring, and if you bend your spring, your safety is not going to work properly. You want to line up the spring with that detent hole. Once you have it lined up, just keep your grip pushed forward. Keep your grip pushed forward just like that. Just going to keep pushing it. Once that's butted up there, you can kind of get a feel for how your safety is going to work. I can't even flick it with my thumb. It's very hard. Before I even go ahead and throw on the screw, I'm going to cut 1 or 2 coils off there. I'm going to start with 2, but if you're not sure for your lower, just start cutting off 1 coil. I'm going to go ahead and pull this off. Just slowly. Make sure when you're pulling it off, you're trying not to go backwards, because as you can see, the spring is starting to bend. Push that forward. Just kind of wiggle it back and forth. I'm going to take some little cutters and I will cut off 2 coils. Just like that. I'm going to put the cut end into the grip and not have the cut end going towards the detent. My detent fell out again. Now it's back in. That feels a lot better. Just as a test trial before I Loctite anything, I'm going to go ahead and screw that in. See the hole right there? Your screwdriver is going to be at an angle through your grip like this, because your screw is all the way over here. You're going to get it tight and then feel it. It's still a little bit tight, so I'm going to go ahead and take 1 more coil off and then it'll be good. You don't have to shave down the detent or anything like that. I wouldn't mess with the detent. All you have to do is cut that spring a little bit. Take the cut end, push it down in. I'm going to take some Loctite. They already have some on there, but I'm going to put a little bit of mine. I haven't had a lot of good luck with this tan stuff. It seems to melt, so I'm just going to put a little bit on there myself. Just do a little bit like that. Screw that in. Before I get too tight, I'm going to flip that again, and that feels good. It's very easy to hit in the 45 rather than trying to come over here, like adjusting my grip to hit it, or doing something weird over here where you're bringing it back with your firing finger. It just works very smooth. The grip, it's very straight up and down, which I would be holding it like that. It keeps my wrist straight. It's a very comfortable grip. It has some serrations here and some stippling for a comfortable grip. I prefer the plastic over the rubber. Rubber tends to get caught on things or snag on things a lot easier. Nice and thick in the back. When I'm taking long range shots, I do some stuff like this. You can still hit it. I'm gonna finish tightening this down a little bit. Just get it hand tight, which that feels good there. Just take a flashlight in there and make sure it's not busting through the bottom of your grip, because this is polymer. I'm going to throw a little bit of lube on the safety itself down there. You can do this before you install it. You can throw some lube on the detent area, or you can throw some lube around there. Just back right under the safety, just where that's moving around. And then right down in there, just where it's moving around in the receiver itself. Take a Q-tip, wipe that in. That's where your screwed into your lower, but you can just wipe off the excess. You can just get your first wing on there, lube up all around it, lube up where the detent goes in, and then get your other wing put in. That's a little bit better of a way to get more lube on more of the surface. If you guys want to see more content like this, please like, subscribe, and share to help support the channel. Thanks for watching.